the city is heading for a disaster of biblical proportion. What it needs is Old Testament. Real wrath of God type stuff. Fire, rivers and seas, water, 40 years of darkness. Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. That's character.
Are any officials here preparing to fight Democratic lawmakers in the streets?
Absolutely.
So,
Thanks for the question.
some elected Democrats are so steamed about Doge. Congresswoman LaMonica McIver says we are at war. Ilhan Omar says we might actually see somebody get killed. And Chris Van Hollen says we have to fight this in the Congress. We have to fight this in the streets. So what now?
And may I just point out, if you heard that type of violence enticing rhetoric from our side of the aisle, from Republican leaders on Capitol Hill, I think there would be a lot more outrage in this room today. It's unacceptable, the comments that have been made by these Democrat leaders, and frankly, they don't even know what they're talking about. Because President Trump was elected with a mandate from the American people to make this government more efficient. He campaigned across this country with Elon Musk, vowing that Elon was going to head up the Department of Government Efficiency, and the two of them, with a great team around them, were going to look at the receipts of this federal government and ensure it's accountable to American taxpayers. That's all that is happening here. And for Democrat officials to incite violence and encourage Americans to take to the streets is incredibly alarming, and they should be held accountable for that rhetoric.
It sounds like something that they're most concerned about is Doge engineers with access to Treasury systems. Can you clarify? Do the Doge engineers have read-only access in these systems, so they are not allowed to write new code? Are any officials here preparing?
Well, there we go. I mean, so listen, can you really argue with what is being said there? I mean, can you imagine if the Republicans were saying, oh my gosh, we got to take to the streets? They would sit there and say, hey, you're the first ones that are going to be lined up in the FEMA camps. No, it's the truth. Absolutely ridiculous. And here we are in the precipice of actually having government, what is it, accountability? Oh, God forbid. Government accountability. Who would have thought that? You would think that would be something this terrible. Nothing says, it worse than, government accountability. And so that's what seems to be the issue here. And I'm sick and tired of people talking about USIP. Now, you remember USIP, right? All of the USIP stuff. Now I have everything over here. Now, I have the Wall Street Journal pulled up, and this is just this morning. Federal judge blocks Elon Musk Doge from the Treasury system. Order requires those who have assessed payments records without proper security clearance to destroy them. Federal judge in New York temporarily restricted the ability of Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency to access the Treasury Department's payment system, saying that doing so was necessary to prevent the potential disclosure of sensitive and confidential information. So what they're trying to say is that, he's going to get in touch with, Social Security numbers and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And so it doesn't, right, exactly. When it says read-only access, they can't change anything. But what they're thinking is going to happen is, wait a minute, here we go. Some Social Security numbers are going to be leaked. And you know what? Isn't the Social Security numbers already leaked on the dark web to begin with? I mean, seriously. This is absolutely ridiculous, and I can't believe we're even having to have this discussion. But here it is just a few hours ago. Now, this is breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Early this morning, a federal judge, not a federal, is it a judge? Yes, it's an Obama appointee judge. There you go. Anyways, this judge precludes officials without proper background checks and security clearance from accessing the payment system through at least next Friday. Oh, is that so that then they can go ahead and wipe the servers clean? Are they going to do one of those bleach Clinton whitewashes? Is that what it is? Let's bleach the server. And so this is absolutely insane. Some 19 blue state attorneys. Blue state attorneys. Oh, so failing state attorneys, because that's what blue states are, I guess, at this point. They're failing, right? They're like, oh my gosh, our world is going to crumble. It's absolutely ridiculous. So the 19 blue state attorney generals filed the case Friday evening. So that's last night, saying that Musk's Doge initiative risks interference with the payment of funds appropriated by Congress. No, listen. What it's going to do is going to interfere. They're afraid that it's going to interfere with their kickbacks and all the kickbacks that are going on. And I had something else here just a few moments ago. What is this? I've got Treasury was warned Doge access to payments marked as an insider threat. This is from the Washington Post this morning. Review urged removing Musk allies from the system, searching for its changes. The Department of Treasury was warned in a confidential assessment that U.S. Doge service access to a sensitive payment network represented unprecedented insider threat risk, according to internal correspondence reviewed by the Washington Post. Now, that is internal correspondence, meaning the people who are getting the kickbacks. They're sitting there and telling the paper, they're like, oh my gosh, and they write it in such a way where they sit there and tell, hey, well, it looks like that there's going to be some disruptions. There's going to be disruptions to what? To all the kickbacks that I get? Oh my gosh, we can't have that. Did you see them the other day? It was yesterday, right? They set up shop. There was some random dude at the front of the Department of Education. Did you see this? Yeah. So the Department of Education, then all of a sudden, a bunch of Democrats, Maxine Waters, and they have no leadership. They just had a leadership convention. It's like, who's going to be the leadership of the Democrats? And it's like they have no clue. They have no clue. And the reason why they have no clue, because they have nothing to stand on. Listen, when you've been cutting off genitals of kids for the last 4 years, I mean, nobody's going to take you seriously anymore unless you're the Virginia High School League, which says that co-ed sports are still okay. Did you hear that? Yeah, so yeah, co-ed sports. Listen, you know what? If there's anything, can we just say something real quick? If there's anything that talks about the progression of the human race. Yes, the progression of the human race. Nothing says the progression of the human race more so than co-ed sports. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, co-ed sports. It shows that we have come through the other side to let everyone know that men and women are equal. That's right. We're going to make sure that we suit up our women in football pads and put them on the field in the next game, starting when? This weekend? Oh, yes. Women, yes, that's right. Women are going to be quarterbacking the Super Bowl. No, that's not what's happening. Good grief. No, nobody doing what is happening. The crazy thing is, so there was an executive order, which I guess is wrong. You can't, God forbid to sit there and say, hey, you know what? Let's just have women play women's sports and men play men's sports. But obviously that can't be the case. So then you have look, listen to these clowns. Where's the Richmond Times-Dispatch? So we're the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Now this is real newspaper, ladies and gentlemen. I am not sitting there making any of this up. Spamberger says that the Virginia High School League and the NCAA should set the policy, not Trump. So this is the Democrat Abigail Spamberger, the presumptive Democrat nominee for the governor, thinks that the Virginia High School League should say, hey, listen, if we want co-ed sports, we should have co-ed sports. Leave it up to the high school league. Now, the NCAA, I think the day after that, the day after that legislation was signed, didn't they kick out all the trans athletes in the NCAA? I think that was what happened. So, but the Virginia High School League says, no, the co-ed sports is still a thing. Such a forward progression of the human race that we need to continue that. Absolutely ridiculous. And of course, people are still freaking out about ICE. I was sitting there asking somebody this week, I said, hey, they're a principal at a high school. I said, hey, did ICE come up and pick all your kids up yet? He was like, no, not yet. I don't know if that's going to happen yet. Well, but it's like, talk about, what is it, ducks in a barrel? Bobbing for apples? It's like, well, I wouldn't expect to send my kids to the school either if that's the easiest place for them to get picked up. Good grief. Oh, but I like this. This says locals say, what locals are they talking to? This is what it says on the front page of the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Locals deportation plans would hurt business. That's what the locals are saying. Locals are saying the deportation plan would hurt businesses. What locals are they talking to? because from what I know is that I don't think that it would hurt businesses unless those businesses they're operating. Oh, yeah, that's right. Against the law. Oh man, oh gosh, that's silly little thing. And nothing is more fickle than the law. It's just for the longest time it was never implemented. It was just in the way. I mean, it's just kind of words. It's kind of like the Constitution, just a bunch of words, like on a document, and everybody's like, oh, well, and nobody pays attention to it. It's just an old rag. Use it for toilet paper. Nothing else. But then out of nowhere, they're like, hey, wait a minute, this could hurt businesses. And can I just tell you right now, if it's the law and people are hiring people against the law, now if it's legal and they have a green card and right, well, that's fine because they've been doing things the correct way. But if you sit there and say, oh, well, wait a minute, no, listen, you broke the law. Don't break the law. If you went to another country and you sat there and just set up shop, you would be thrown into jail so quick and you would never see another living human again. Well, you would, but it would be the ones in jail with you. So this is absolutely ridiculous in terms of, oh, the Hispanic workforce plays vital role in the state's economy. Says who? What do you mean? So, the illegal Hispanic population? Oh, that plays a vital role. Well, guess what? Maybe you shouldn't have sat there and set up shop to where all of a sudden people who are here illegally are providing a bunch of work that the state depends on. I'm not saying that that's the case or not. I'm just telling you this. If you sit there and you bank on something that could be taken away in the future, well, then guess what? You weren't planning properly. You said, well, this is un-American. Nothing says more American than breaking the law, right? So I guess, yeah, well, what the hell? Just go ahead and harbor whoever. I don't care. Doesn't bother me. All I know is that when I look online and I see the videos, it shows that Walmarts are empty now all across America. You can go in there and they're just empty. Where everybody's gone. They say everybody's hiding. A buddy of mine out in Colorado said that all the window washers that were on the side of the street are no longer there. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. Maybe everybody's windows are all foggy now and disgusting looking. Who knows? The question that Cato asked is, why are they afraid to be audited? Why is the government? Yeah, why are they afraid to be audited? If I remember correctly, weren't they going to hire a bunch of IRS agents to audit everyone else? So they were okay with that because they wanted to nickel and dime you and get as much money from you as possible so they could sit there and launder it, which is what has been happening. Now, I have the Doge X account in front of me, and I have the Doge tracker in front of me right now as well. So there's already been 36.73 billion in total savings. I'm going to say that again. 36.73 billion in savings. That is $244.89 per taxpayer. Okay. So as a taxpayer, you already are going to get a kickback of $244. Now they're stopping this because once again, they don't want their money laundering operations going away. That's why they were in front of the Department of Education. Nothing would be better than the Department of Education shutting down. And people would say, oh, well, what is that? Why would you do that, Sam? Oh, my God, the children. The children have been having lower scores every single year since the Department of Education came to being, right? Okay, so before there was a Department of Education, the scores were higher. But then the Department of Education shows up, and guess what? There's never been an increase. Everything has always went down, 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 down. So don't talk to me about, oh, well, government education. Bunk. Nobody wants to hear about that. What they do want to hear is that you already have gotten $244 that'll be kicked back to you. So once again, 36.73 billion in savings. And that is absolutely incredible. Now, a couple of things just in the last day or so. So just in the last day, let's see, what do we have here? 14 hours ago, the Department of Education terminated 3 DEI training grants totaling $15 million. So, one of the institutions had previously hosted a faculty workshop entitled Decolonizing the Curriculum. Ah, right, yeah. So, there's an extra $4 billion here in excessive grant administrative cost. So, last year, $9 billion of the $35 billion that the National Institute of Health, the NIH, granted for research was used for administrative overhead, which is known as indirect cost. So what does that mean? So today, the NIH lowered the maximum indirect cost rate. Research institutions can charge the government to 15% above what? Above what many major foundations allow, and much lower than the 60% plus that some institutions charge the government today. This change will save more than $4 billion a year, effective immediately. See, there we go again. The past 48 hours, HHS canceled 62 contracts worth $182 million. These contracts were entirely for administrative expenses, meaning kickbacks to the people who, so it wasn't even going to health. It was just going to other things. So, yeah, isn't that is the most ridiculous thing. The people who hate colonization still live here, right? I would understand if maybe they were just sitting offshore in a boat, just sitting there on their little boat going, well, yeah, you guys on that land over there. Oh, yeah, you colonizers on the land. No, they're always the colonizers here, too. So it's absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd. Let's see here. A couple of other things. New York Times contracts were canceled. That's nice. What else do we have? State Department leadership canceled. NASA leadership has verified that $500,000 were spent. NASA. Okay, so here, check this out for a moment. Okay, so check this out. NASA spent $500,000 on, what do you think it is? You think it's rocket fuel? You think it's rocket fuel, right? Rocket fuel? No, that's not it. $500,000 in NASA. Let's what do we have here? Yes, do we have any music? Some time music, some Jeopardy music. Ba 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 ba. So seriously, that this is a real question. $500,000. $500,000. What did NASA spend them on? So somebody say condoms. No. That went to that was somewhere else. All that money was being spent somewhere else. No, it wasn't condoms. This is the I can't even say it. It just makes me it makes my felt head hurt. When am I gonna get my facelift, by the way? Oh, soon. Okay. Listen, my head hurts. When I have to say this again. NASA. Now, you think it's going to have something to do with space, right? Right? Space, rocket fuel, something, right? $500,000 on Politico subscriptions. No, you were almost there, Skydra. Skydra said OnlyFans. No. Politico. 500 grand on Politico subscriptions? Subscriptions to Politico? What? Well, hold on, wait a minute. I didn't even know people even still read Politico, much less had a $500,000 worth of subscriptions to it. Oh, absolutely ridiculous. Man. So here we are. Like I said, I'm still going through these Doge contracts and what's been found. Contract terminations totaling 30 million, another doing 23 million, and then 22 consulting contract terminations for a savings of 45 million. I mean, it just keeps going on and on. So so I said, when is your surgery scheduled? Well, I'm not really sure. It was supposed to be earlier this month, but there's a problem with one of the procedures. They don't want to sit there and mess up my vision when I do have the surgery. So yeah, well, listen, the surgery is going to come, and I'll feel better once it does. because I've been sitting here with this felt for the last 10 years in this swampland known as Virginia. It hasn't really helped the felt, if you will. But I don't look too bad. I don't look too bad. You're probably asking, well, Sam, I can't see you. I can only hear you on the radio. Well, make sure you're tuning in at Sam Newsman all over social media. That's at Sam Newsman. All over social media is where you will find me. But this is pretty much the news, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm going through everything and kind of looking back and forth. So that's what we have. Judge blocks Doge from the Treasury system because why? Well, they don't want the audits to happen. They're sitting there using excuses saying, oh, well, that this is a security risk and rah, 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 rah. It's not. Nobody knows what read only says anyway. So my receding felt line. That's how I feel. So, but no. So this is what we have going on in terms of what else is happening this weekend. A couple of other things. Mystery seed packages from China returned to Texas. That's not good. What else do we have? Nap pods and breathe work classes. There you go. That sounds good. Secession from Illinois is in the air. Oh, well, that's great. Who really cares about that? And everybody's worried about Tucker Carlson and RFK's nicotine patches. What? Nicotine patches? Is it really that bad? So, oh, and of course, the news outlets reject accusations of you said media payoffs, even though that they found it. Right. Yeah, even though it was all right. It's all right. No. Pay no attention to what you found that is true, but it's not true because we say it's not true. So, and the godfather of AI sounds alarm on Google's weapons plans. Oh, well, that doesn't sound good. Investor betting on people in their 50s and 60s because older is better. And the world's second largest gold storage has long lines to withdraw gold bars. Well, hey, listen, nothing is more important than having a bunch of gold bars. What is it, Senator Menendez? Didn't he just he got convicted? Well, he was running around with gold bars. I want to know how many other people in Congress are running around with gold bars in their jacket pockets. Probably more than just gold bars. Probably have some of those condoms too, right? Oh, good grief. Oh man, what an interesting week and series of events. And there's more to it, and we shall go over all of it here when we come back in just a few moments. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break and come back in about 8 minutes. I need to play something positive. So what do we have here in terms of music that we can play? Because I'm sitting there thinking that I need to play something that will brighten my day, brighten my spirits, if you will. So as I'm looking through, I'm looking, and I don't see the one that we want. We want to make sure that we play something that really is joyful. Right. Well, it can't just be something off the cuff. No, well, it is Saturday morning. So, well, it is that time. It is. Well, that time of the Saturday morning when, usually this is what happens is that there is something in terms of sitcoms, but, I don't really want to do that. I would like to just play a little bit of some magic here. And do we have it? Do we have anything set up? We do. Okay, I think we do have something set up now, and we'll get to that. So, got to give a shout out to the producers over there on the other side of the glass. You guys never really hear them. You never hear the producers on the other side of the glass, but you hear me. So, but I want to give a shout out to the producers. They've done a great job. But what we're going to do is we're going to play a couple of jams real quick here. Make sure you download the Live 365 app, search WDCE, and we'll be back on the other side of this break here on the only award-winning radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real award-winning media puppet. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning.
Thank you.